Okay. All right, muscular notes. The muscular system includes all your, and I actually want to change to a different color, all of your muscles. Write that in, all of your muscles. And you can see the muscle human over here, front and back views of all the muscles in our bodies. Muscles help your body. What's the function, you think? Muscles are going to help us to move. Of course, they're going to help us to move. Your muscles are going to be grouped into two categories depending on what activities they're responsible for moving. So our first group is going to be called something that we don't make a conscious decision about moving. So we're going to call them involuntary. Involuntary muscles. That's our first group. They're responsible for activities that are not under your conscious control. So think of something that's moving that is not under your conscious control. I instantly think of heartbeat. You can put whatever you'd like. Stomach churning. I don't know if you realize that, but like digestion, the stomach churning, that's not under your control. Number two, the ones that you are consciously moving, that you make a choice, are your voluntary muscles. You're volunteering to move them. You're responsible for activities that are under your control. So, for example, walking. Typing, smiling. Okay, you can think of any, but those are the ones I thought of first, just to give you an idea. Those are the ones you choose to move at those times. Okay, so two categories first, involuntary and voluntary. Now I want to talk about, we have three different types of muscles in our body. And the first type are going to be our skeletal muscles. Skeletal. Now, there's a word that sounds familiar in skeletal. Let's write out muscles. In my head, I'm always saying muscles, so I know how to spell it correctly. Skeletal muscles. So, do you know where you're going to find them? Skeletal. They're going to be attached to your bones. That's where they're going to be. They're attached to your bones. In fact, that's what you see in this picture. Those are skeletal muscles. These are skeletal. That's what you see when you look at a picture of a diagram there. What they do is they provide the force that moves your bones. They provide the force that moves your bones. They're attached to your bones by tendons. That's how they're able to stay attached and help you move. Tendons. Okay, so there's a look to skeletal muscles. They have like all these lines or ridges, and there's a word we use in science that we call that. We call them, it looks striated. S-T-R-I-A-T-E-D. The skeletal muscles look striated, like having all those, do you see all those lines on the muscles? They look like they're being stretched. That's the striations. It's striated. So it's also called, and I think that's on our notes next, also called striated muscles. If you ever see that word, they're talking about the skeletal muscles. Striated muscles, which are skeletal. Yeah, I say that next in the notes. Sometimes called striated because of skeletal muscle. Next bullet. They are a voluntary muscle. Voluntary. Because you have conscious control over their functions. So if you have conscious control of when you want to move them, they're going to react very quickly. If you want to pick up your finger and scratch your head, you can do that as soon as you think of it. But The thing with skeletal muscles is they tire quickly. They get tired. That's why you can't run forever, because eventually you feel that tiredness. You can't do something with your muscles, your skeletal muscles forever, because they get tired, but they can react quickly when you want. The second type of muscles are smooth muscles. Smooth muscles. They are on the inside of many of your internal organs, such as the walls of your stomach. And blood vessels. So you're going to find them on the inside of your body. So that means if they're part of that, do we have conscious control of moving them? No. So we're going to group them in the involuntary. Involuntary. Because they function automatically to control many types of movements inside your body, such as digestion. Because I just mentioned the stomach, so that has to do with digestion. The smooth muscles inside your stomach are going to contract, like squeeze, and make a churning motion. That means like a mixing motion, which helps to mix the food with chemicals. So that's giving you a pre-story, basically, of our digestive system, which will be coming up in a few weeks. The smooth muscles inside your stomach contract and make a churning motion, which helps to mix the food with chemicals. Let's say S at the end. Smooth muscles are not striated, because it says it in its name. They're smooth and slick looking. Now, the thing with smooth muscles is they react more slowly. They just don't get up and go very quickly. But they tire more slowly. They can work a long time. They can do that. Stomach muscle can churn for a couple of hours without getting tired. Okay, you have all that? We're going to go to number 3. The third type of muscle, and this is the last type of muscle we have in our bodies, and it's only in one special spot because it's a very major muscle. It's the cardiac muscle. Cardiac. Some of you are well aware what that word cardiac means. Do you know? It means heart. It means like oxygen to the heart. Has characteristics in common with both the skeletal and the smooth muscles. Skeletal and smooth. Has things in common with both of those. So if it's cardiac, it's inside your body, so that means you don't have control over it. So it's going to be involuntary. Write that in. Involuntary. Because it automatically functions without making a conscious decision. The cardiac muscle is striated. So it's striated like skeletal muscles. It has those ridges and those like stretchy looking type of muscle. It does not get tired. That's a good thing. We need our hearts to work forever. Does not get tired. It can contract repeatedly. That means like squeeze, contract, get smaller. And like I said, it's only found in the heart. Okay, I'll leave that because I know you maybe need to catch up. So cardiac is like smooth because they're both involuntary and found inside the body in organs. And then it's like skeletal because they're both striated and have those ridges or those little stretchy looking muscles. Here's a great diagram I found showing you where in the body you're going to find some examples of these types of muscles. Cardiac, here's what it looks like microscopically. Do you see those dark lines going up and down, those vertical dark lines? That's the striated muscle. That's where it looks like striated. And here it's found in the heart. Skeletal, you see lots of striations. The striated muscle, those little lines, those vertical lines, found like in your arm, your bicep and triceps. And then your smooth muscle, none of those vertical lines, those dark lines going up and down on it, and smooth and slick found in like in your intestines, also in your stomach. And here's a little broken down chart, giving you basically what you wrote down in words, but showing you in a chart form. Okay, next, muscle cells contract. I put /respond when they receive messages from the nervous system. Remember, these systems don't work by themselves, and they definitely always work with the nervous system. The brain's going to get messages of how to respond to things. Muscles are attached to bones, and I know we've already wrote this, but I'd forgotten we had it up there. Tendons. And we have over, do you know how many muscles we have? We have over 650 muscles in the body. And I'm going to put a little side note over here. To smile, it takes 17 muscles. To frown, it takes, want to guess? More or less? It takes more. It takes 43 to frown. So you might hear someone say that it takes less muscles to smile. It's true. And then our homeostasis examples, always know how these systems are keeping us in balance. Cardiac muscles repeatedly beat to keep blood circulating throughout the body. Circulating. Cardiac muscle repeatedly beats to keep blood circulating throughout the body. The esophagus, which you'll learn, it connects the mouth area to the stomach. It's your food tube. It will have muscular contractions to push food down into your stomach, so that way you get nutrients. Or you can have reverse peristalsis, which means vomiting. You can vomit if there's irritation in the stomach, so that way you get it out and you can get back into homeostasis. You can be balanced. And then lastly, skeletal muscles. You probably have experienced this. They're going to cramp if they're dehydrated. It's a signal to you that says, hey, you need some water. You need to be hydrated. You need some electrolytes. So they'll cramp to send those signals to you to do something about it, to get you back into homeostasis. And then lastly, I like this picture to show you how, because they work together. The skeletal muscular, they have to work together, and showing you the half where the muscle, half skeletal. Okay, you guys, you know I'm going to say you must study these notes, read over them, do your Quizlets and the learning resources, listen to this video again, anything to help you get this down. You'll have a test April 21st over the first 5 systems, integumentary, nervous, endocrine, skeletal, muscular. So this will be a really good tool to help you prepare for that. All right, have a good day. Thank you.